On the biggest lesson series today, I have with me
Chioma.
Chioma, what is your biggest lesson in life so far?
My biggest lesson is being too forgiving.
That's don't be too forgiving.
Yeah, don't be too forgiving.
How do you say that? I mean, what's the lesson behind that, or how did you learn that lesson?
Okay, yes, let me give examples of why I say being too forgiving can be a big lesson. For people that keep going back and don't have boundaries, being too forgiving is a big issue because you keep taking way worse than you took the first time without even realizing.
That's you keep taking way worse than you took the first time. Wow.
Without even realizing. Because somebody will do something and the apology comes bigger. Because the little the offense, the little the apology.
So the bigger the offense, the bigger the apology. And then they keep increasing the apology, and then you keep taking worse things.
Yeah, so like I feel like being too forgiving. So you need to set boundaries. Everybody's boundaries can be different. You need to set what you can take as an individual.
That's right.
Stick to it. Sticking to it can be an issue, but it is very necessary to stick to it. You might miss it. Can be with friends, relationships, family.
Wow.
Like, just stick to the boundaries. You might say, okay, let's even use family. Your family is doing something. You're trying to follow a career path. Your parents don't want you to take that career path. I don't know how to explain it, but like you should keep boundaries. You might miss something. You might miss someone. Yeah. But when the boundaries, when they have reached the certain limits that you should not.
So you should have limits. I mean, that don't make you go back.
Don't go back
to people, to places, to things.
Don't go back.
Wow.
Like, it's going to be it's difficult, but like, do not go back.
Wow.
Like, don't be that forgiving. Except, I don't know, don't do it.
What about thresholds? You know, sometimes when people talk about extending graces, I mean, like, give them another chance. And then people grow up with this thing inside of them. They're able to take things or tolerate things that are not necessarily normal, but because they've gotten so used to it, they begin to now say, oh, it's okay, it's just a little tap or a little slap here and there.
That's the issue with with being too forgiving. Like, that's why boundaries need to be set. For example, me as a person, what I can take, it sounds like a joke. I'll count 8 times like that you offended me.
8. Wow. I mean, okay, you're close enough. Jesus said 70 times 7. Yeah, so your own threshold is 8 times.
8 times.
Okay.
So obviously I make mistakes as well.
True that.
But like, I feel like if I care about someone and you told me something, like adapting to someone's, because to be with someone you have to adapt to certain things that you're not used to.
Very true.
You offend people, by the way, but you have to give chances that you said you can take.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if somebody has given me 8
chances, they've tried for you.
You've tried for me.
Wow.
If I'm giving you 8 chances too, I'm trying for you. And
so the Chioma method, count 1 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Write it down.
Wow.
Remember the dates. Blah, 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 blah. Because me, I keep records. I try to keep records of situations.
Wow.
So that, okay, if I say, I journal.
Oh, yeah.
So even if I do not journal every single time, if something offends me, I
put it down.
I'll put it down. So when I remember the 8 times and I want to go back after such,
you remind yourself that this person has.
Okay,
they've met the threshold.
And I'm like, okay, yes, I've set this rule for myself for certain reasons. Because if you become too forgiving, you forget, like, for example, maybe the first time was let's use a boyfriend. First time is he didn't call you and you like calls.
Yeah.
Second, the fourth time is he didn't come to your house. From calls, you're battling calls. Now you're battling communication. You're battling like
visits.
When you see a red flag, don't go. In fact, I'm not saying don't go back because everybody will go back. Yeah. But count the amount of times.
So, like, being able to see red flags and then saying, this is my limit. Being able to say, this is how much I can take. Being able to say, that's enough. And then shutting it down from there and then. Thank you very much, Chioma. I'll take it. I mean, and I like whilst everybody preaches forgiveness, I think there is a very strong message to preach, and extending grace is important, but we must also get to a point in our lives where we say, that's enough. No, I'm not going to allow you to continue to roughshod. I'll keep that lesson somewhere, and then I'm not sure whether I'll count 8 or whether it's 70 times 7, but somewhere in between 8 and 70 times 7, I'll find my own middle point. Thank you very much for your lesson, Chioma. It was very exciting.